Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
All right.
We have a big team. We cover a number of things. But they're also pushing back on Biden's new plan that would also limit asylum claims, saying that that goes too far. You're not on that letter that they sent to the White House, and neither is Schumer. And I just wanted to understand why that is, and what is the Democrats' majority position on this front?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the letter, but we look forward to, as Democrats and as members of Congress, to having a healthy discussion about how do we deal with the complexity of issues connected to comprehensive immigration reform and making sure we have a safe, secure, and strong border. And I think that President Biden and the administration want to continue to try to address this issue in a forward-looking way. As House Democrats, we certainly want to do that. But we do need common sense partners on the other side of the aisle to have a reasonable discussion about immigration-related issues and border security. What we have is Team Extreme. Extreme MAGA Republicans who, by the way, are putting forth a bill that their own members don't even support, which is why on border security we were supposed to see legislation put forth, I believe, by the distinguished gentleman from Texas that consistently has been pulled. So Team Extreme needs to get it together on their own side before we can even have a discussion with the extreme MAGA Republicans about how we deal with an important issue for the American people. Second row.
You mentioned that you think that the Republican economic agenda is extreme, but I want to get your thoughts on some of the rhetoric, especially on this anti-woke kick that some Republicans like Jim Banks are on. Do you think that those views are extreme? He talked about starting an anti-woke caucus and really just making sure that House Republicans really speak on that issue, and some activists believe that, you know, that could be just as problematic as some of the economic ideas that they have. And speaking of threats to democracy, I wanted to get your thoughts on Meta reinstating Donald Trump, given your thoughts on how you feel he's a threat to democracy as well.
Well, I mean, I think the issue in terms of the concerns, the danger, the threats to democracy related to Donald Trump speak for themselves. And I think many of us will probably have more to say about that to the extent that, you know, he moves forward with his so-called presidential campaign. It happens to be a very low-energy campaign, by the way. But in terms of the other issues, look, there are people in this town running for office, as I understand it, in different parts of the country who apparently seem to believe that perhaps dividing America or leaning into extreme narratives that don't have anything to do with historical reality perhaps might advance, you know, their own personal aspirations. I don't know. I think you've got to talk to these individuals. I think it's ridiculous. You have a, you know, you have an education and labor committee, which should be a forum to be able to meaningfully address providing the highest quality education to the American people all across the country, small town America, urban America, rural America, suburban America, ex-urban America, and Appalachia. That's what Democrats support, Team Normal. That's what we support. How do we make sure, as we did in the CHIPS and Science Act, that the young people in America have the skills to succeed in the 21st century economy by leaning into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's what House Democrats support. High quality education. And, you know, the burning book crowd is just going to have to speak for themselves.